Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 250. It is Thursday morning, and tomorrow is probably the last day that we play. Actually, we might have an early Sunday session before we leave for our trip. So we have today, tomorrow, and an early Sunday session, most likely. Possibly Saturday instead of Sunday, I'm not sure. And then we're going on our trip. Today, leaving nice and early. Looks like a beautiful day outside. Really nice sky, almost perfectly clear. 40 degrees outside today. Looks like today's high is going to be around 65 degrees. Still no chance of rain. We only had rain for a day or two, which I know we need rain, but when I'm traveling, I don't like it. And I've been really fortunate this summer not to have terrible weather. I've had some bad weather, but I remember the last couple of years having huge storms and even snowstorms and things like that, and I haven't had that lately. Although they do say supposedly that this winter is supposed to be a bad one, but we'll deal with it. Anyway, heading out for the day. Yesterday was a good day. Probably didn't need that extra session at the end of the night for no reason, but I thought, hey, I might pick up another $200, $300, $400, and it might be good. But I could tell somebody was there. All the machines were marked, and I really didn't have a shot at it. So what are you gonna do? So anyway, right now we're just heading out, and we're gonna have to get some fuel on the way out, and then we'll hit our first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Wow, all I can say is unbelievable. I've been watching gold and silver, and today's silver not only hit 50, blew past $50 an ounce. Unbelievable. I've been collecting gold and silver for years and years and years. The last time I sold silver, it was at $20 an ounce, and since then I've been actually buying silver. That was exceptionally big bar. It was 1,074.5 ounce bar. I bought it for I forget, 16 or 18, and sold it for 20, and made a few $1,000s, and I was really excited. But gold now is over 4,000 an ounce. Silver is over 50, and I think people are just now going to start buying. And I think I don't know, it's kind of late, but I don't want to buy anymore right now because I look at my average and it's so low, but it continues to go up. So right now I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines, just watching and seeing what happens. But with monetary policy the way it's been in this country, I mean, I kind of feel like the government should go to gold-backed securities again. Not securities, gold-backed money again. I mean, you could do a new dollar that's based on $4,000 gold and have it be a gold-backed dollar, and then you'd have two prices at the store: the gold-backed one and the non-gold-backed one. And the gold-backed one would just stay the same. The price would always stay the same on everything, because as inflation gets worse, the other one gets higher, but the gold one would be the same. And then hopefully, as the government collects back non-gold-backed money, they destroy that money and issue only gold-backed. And unless there's no gold in Fort Knox, I don't know. I think it's still there, but I think that would be a great thing to do. But the way that things are going right now, I don't want to pay $4 million for a house one day. It's so ridiculous. Houses when I was a kid were $30,000 to $60,000. They weren't $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. It's just jumped so much. Anyway, I'm continuing on here to my first casino. I'm about 35 miles away, and I'll come back and update you. But I was just really amazed by the price hitting $50 for silver, especially, and I just wanted to mention that on here. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Long story, and this is actually pretty cool stuff today. Pretty exciting, ups and downs. It started off kind of mundane, and then it got a little bit better, and then there's some surprises in there. So it was all pretty cool in the end. So we'll start from the beginning here. I had to take notes because there was so much going on. All right, so first session, tables, in and out in like 10 minutes because it just wasn't possible to make money anymore. So the conditions weren't right anymore, plus $200. Went and found another table, in and out in 10 minutes, plus 57. So couldn't make any money quite yet. Went and put myself on the Pot Limit Omaha list. And then I saw this guy from this other casino in the area. And this casino is one that I haven't been backed off of, but they're kind of looking for me. They're like on the lookout for when I come in. So I haven't really been going there because it doesn't mean that much to me. It wasn't that big of a deal for me when I was playing there. So trying to find my charging cable. Right, I get it. And all right, so it wasn't worth that much to me when I was going there, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll just let it go for 6 months or a year since they check ID, and then we'll see what happens when they stop checking ID. So anyway, I saw this guy from there, and I was asking him about the other casinos in the area and what he plays and stuff. And he's like, no, I only play that one and this one and nothing else. I'm like, why? The other one's so close too. And he's like, no, I don't play it. So whatever, okay, whatever makes you happy. But he told me, he's been playing for all these years and never had an issue. And he's like, they will never tell you to leave for doing this. I'm like, you must not be making any money because you really have no clue. And I remember him from the other casino. He's a nice guy, but he spends all day there and plays extremely borderline plays and doesn't really make that much money. So anyway, so then I had another session and played that, and again a short session ended ahead $121. Okay, I'm going back and forth now to the poker area to see how the list is going. I was 5th on the list. I could have been 4th, but I waited too long. I wasn't going to play. Then I changed my mind. And one of the other players that I see there all the time actually gave me some tips about the game and about the players that are there and stuff. So I appreciate that. He's a nice guy. He was only able to play like an hour, but it was nice to see him. Anyway, so as I'm walking back to the poker area, I see this pit boss who she's the one that has my name written down on a notebook somewhere and tells other people. And I haven't said anything to her yet, and I probably shouldn't, but I feel like I should go talk to this lady. But what good would that do other than bring more attention to myself? So I finally get called for the 3-3 Pot Limit Omaha table. I sit down. I have $1,200 in chips in my pocket, and I buy in for $300. Sit down. We're about 5 minutes into it. I'm up like $40 or something. And I get a call from a friend of mine who I saw that he was in the casino, but if he has any big plays, sometimes he'll call me. Maybe we'll split it or something like that. And there was a $20 play, and he wanted to split it with. Oh Lord, what is going on here? How can I get around this? He wanted to split it with me and this Asian lady. All right, I'm gonna have to put you on mute for hold for a second. Well, all right, I'm back. The exit, the entrance to the highway was closed, so going another way. I don't even need the map, but anyway, so yeah, I'm playing the Pot Limit Omaha, and he calls me up and he said, "Okay, do you want to split this 3 ways at $20 a spin, and it's me and you and the Asian lady if you want?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." It was kind of borderline, but I'm like, okay. We each put 200, and that evaporated. We put in 200 each again, and we hit it pretty quick after that. But we ended down $158 each on that, so that was pretty bad. So I played Pot Limit for a while, and after a while, the table was just dead. Not much happening at all. Nobody raising, nobody re-raising. I had one hand where I had aces double suited with connectors, and I was first to act, so I just called, because usually people are raising. Nobody raised. You know, check, 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 check all the way down, and I mean, I didn't even win the hand. I would have won the hand if I had been able to raise anything substantial, but I didn't. So, but after an hour of playing Pot Limit, the table was so dead. It was the second table. 2 people were being moved to the first table, and 2 people were going to sit out or walk away or something. So we were going to have 4 empty seats. So I decided to walk too, and I ended the Pot Limit Omaha session ahead, $51. So, oh, interestingly, also too, while I was at that table, there we go. There was a guy sitting there in seat 1, and he needed chips. So the guy next to him was like, "Yeah, I'll sell you some chips." So he gives him $300, and they're the old $100 bills. And the guy's like, "Oh man, you give me the old hundreds. I don't like old hundreds." And he's like, "What do you mean old hundreds? I don't know what that means." And they're like, "See these are old hundreds." And he's like, "Oh, I'm not from here." I said, "Where are you from? Canada or something?" And he's like, "No, Switzerland." I'm like, "Whoa. Okay, that's very unexpected for you to say you're from Switzerland." He actually played pretty well, pretty aggressive, just didn't have any luck. And as I was cashing out, he was standing in line at the cashier, and I sold him 1,000 in chips so he can get back to the table. And then I cashed out the other 251. So then I went back to the tables again, finally found a seat, played that. I was there for a pretty short time actually, but had really good variance. I mean, all my sessions together were under an hour probably, as far as tables. So ended that session ahead 583, so plus 583. And then I was going to cash out my vouchers and stuff, and I see a game that I just recently started playing because I had a bad taste in my mouth from playing it in Vegas. I just didn't do well. I don't really fully understand it still. I got a handle on most of it, but not 100%. And so I see a play on that, and it's just sitting there on the screen. Somebody left it, and you could see that they cashed out like $250 or something like that. But I had a big voucher, like $1,000 voucher, so I stick it in there, and I end up hitting actually like the nicest hit. The amount was, so this is at $5 a spin, and I'm into it for 300, actually 298 to be exact, and it hit for $1,191.25. So just $9 away from a W2. Beautiful, didn't have to worry about taxes or any of that. And as I'm playing it, as I hit that, and I'm getting, it's popping up on the screen and doing all the music and all that stuff, my friend who did that chop pot with me earlier calls me, and he's like, "Hey, I got this one, it's at this level, do you want to split it?" I'm like, "How much is it?" He's $5. I'm like, "Yeah, for $5 I'll split it, sure." It was a little bit borderline, but for $5 I thought it was an okay bet. And then I realized that it's a $1 denomination for $5. So it's only a 5-line play. So just so you know, you want the most lines possible so you get the most money in the meantime while you're playing for whatever you're playing for, whether it's a jackpot or whatever it is that you're playing for. So 5 lines was not great, but I already told him that I would do it. So I went over there, and we each put in 200, and it vanished like a fart in the wind. And then another 200 disappeared also, and then a third 200. I'm like, am I going to give back all that money that I just made? Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you that I was ahead on that slot machine, $894, just to be clear. I know I didn't mention that. And we put in a third 200 each, so we're in for a total of 600 each, 1,200 total. And when it finally hit, we were down to a credit of only 259 left. So we're in it for about $1,000, and it paid $1,075. $1,075. So we got our money back. We each ended up slightly ahead. I believe it was $67 each. Yes, $67 each. So, it was good. We talked for a few minutes, and he again, as always, told me about how disgusted he is with this place, and I agreed. Definitely. So, anyway, overall, we'll recap here. We had tables plus 200, plus 57, plus 121, and plus 583. We had slot team polls of minus 158 and plus 67. And then we had my own slots at plus 894. When you add all that together, I believe it is plus $1,815 for the day. And you can see it was like, you started off so slow, make 100, make 50, lose 100. It's like so stagnant. And then the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, everything happened. I was in there for 3 hours and 40 minutes approximately. And, less than an hour was tables, and the rest was walking around and waiting for poker, some slots, team play, and all this back and forth. But very pleased to come out ahead, and 1,800 is not bad. I mean, I think this week has been a really good week. I don't even know what the numbers are. Let me see. So it was like 1,800 for today. Yesterday was 5, 10, 1,500. It was 1,684 yesterday. So 16 and 18 is 3,400. Day before that was 2,600. 44.54, that's 6,000. And 2 days before that was another 1,700. That's $8,000 since Saturday. Oh, more than that, like 8,300 since Saturday. So definitely did well. Tomorrow's goal really is going to be just make 1,000, 1,200. I'd be happy with that. I don't have to go crazy. I just want to keep the momentum going, keep making money, keep moving the right direction. And it's been a good week, and I'm a lot more cheerful now than I was a couple days ago, because I was just in a slump emotionally. But last couple days, the sun's been out, the rain stopped, clear, beautiful sky, fall weather, crisp weather, and I've felt a lot better. So, but yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's so hard to predict what's going to happen. You leave in the morning, and I was actually going to say at the beginning of the podcast that I felt like today was going to be a bad day, just because I had a bunch of good days back to back to back, and I wouldn't have been surprised if it wasn't a great day. But you know what? We didn't push it, and when conditions weren't right, we got up 3 times, and when conditions were good, we made money. I played 2 okay plays as a team and lost about $90 combined on those 2 plays. But that's okay, because I want those people to know they can depend on me when we do have good plays. And I did mention that I thought that it was marginal plays on both of them, but they know that they can depend on me if they have plays. I don't mind losing $100 as long as I have future money potential, because I'm a team player and I don't just say no to everything, because it's not like in the perfect position every time. So that part was good. I think everything just went really well overall. We still might get some other stuff done this afternoon. Right now I'm going to go grab some food, and I'll be back to update you. All right, time out right there. So I talked for like 4 more minutes after that, but I didn't realize that it had cut out. So let me, I'm going to redo this here. What I learned today was sometimes you have to step back and look at what you're doing and make sure it's the best thing, and make sure that your eyes are open to other opportunities. And having those good relationships with people is a big part of that. I did want to mention sports betting. Well, first I mentioned I spoke to one of my listeners today, and he had sent me an email a while back, and he had sent me a copy of his win-loss statement. And then I thought, it would make a lot more sense, rather than emailing him back, to just actually talk to him. And so we talked on Discord today for a little while, and I learned a lot. I learned that he really wasn't doing things that were mathematically based, that were AP based. And he understood a lot of the concepts, but didn't know where to get started. He understood must-hit buys. He understood card counting, all these different things, but he wasn't really implementing it because he was a gambler, just like I used to be a gambler. And that's a very powerful thing. Being a gambler can hinder you in what we do. And we talked for a little while, and I want to see how things go for him the next couple weeks and couple months. And I told him, if you can't do this as an AP and not do the other stuff on the side, you might be better off just banning yourself. Even if you can afford it, it might make more sense to ban yourself. But hopefully, in the next few weeks, things will get better for him. And I want to hear some good news and work together as a team here to make sure that he doesn't lose any more money to these casinos, because they definitely don't deserve it. But it got me to thinking too. I've been listening to all kinds of sports betting information the last few days, probably 3-4 days, and I think I'm going to explore that and expand more on that. I think the first step is going to be to continue doing what I'm doing right now and listening, watching videos, listening, reading, and then I'll probably make a list of all the sports betting sites in my state and the surrounding states. And I know that once I go to another state, all I have to do is put my airplane mode on and then turn it back off again, and it'll get a new IP address for that state that I'm in. And then I can open those sites and they can see that I'm in their state and be able to bet through them. So I'll make a list of all the sites and then probably look for some opportunities to have some good deposit bonuses. We'll get those done, and then of course everything will be tracked on a spreadsheet like we always do with everything. And then hopefully we'll be able to start doing some small bets and really understand how to place a bet, what the bet means. I do know that, but I really understand where the numbers come from and where the percentage that the casino is making profit off the VIG comes from, and how much it is, and all that stuff. And then learn how to put the bets in quickly and have multiple things open at the same time, and understand how that all works. Maybe put some small $25, $50 bets in, just to understand how things work, and then maybe go more full blast on it. And eventually I'd like to work at least an hour a day on it, make maybe $100 a day, just to learning how to do it and understanding the concepts and really immersing myself in it. And I hope that all works out soon. And even at $100 a day, that's $36,500 a year. That's huge. That's a game changer for me. So that if I had done that in January, I wouldn't have the shortfall that I have right now. So I hope to do that. But for now, I'm just going to continue my trip home, and I'll be back with you guys tomorrow, hopefully for one more good day to round off the week. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.